Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Can you guess what this is? This is a line to the Hermès sale. Yes, I went. I was one of these people standing in line for hours and hours last week. For those of you who didn't know, there was an Hermès sale that took place on Wednesday, October 20th. That was for VIPs only by invitation. And then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, those were the 3 days that were open to the public. So I went on one of those days with my friend. And I was standing right back here. I'm not in the photo, but these are the people that were standing in front of me. And I thought we did pretty okay arriving at 8:40 in the morning, but then we quickly found out that many people arrived the night before and were tenting out. So the line was quite long. I'm going to show you where we were exactly when we first arrived. And you'll see here, it says 33rd Street. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of blurry as I zoom in, but 33rd Street. So the sale took place at the Soifer Haskins building on 33rd near 8th Avenue. And to be honest, this goes around the corner and up the block. And we were only about, I don't know, half a block to a block away from the actual entrance to the sale. But you're not going to believe how long it took us to get inside. You will not believe it. I'm almost embarrassed to share. So this video is going to be a full story time, not a lot of eye candy. I'm going to explain to you in depth what this experience was like, and I have a fresh perspective because it was my very first time going. I want you to pause and comment down below, how many hours do you think I was waiting on this line? Take a guess. And do you think I made it in? Yes or no? I'm really curious to know what you think, just for fun. But my friend and I, we waited on this line, and then when we got there, I coincidentally ran into an old friend that I hadn't seen in about 2 years, so it was a really happy reunion, and the three of us stayed in line, and then her friend came, so then it was the four of us, and then eventually we became friends with all the people around us, and it became a whole big party, and that is what sustained us. That is what allowed us to stay online for as long as we did, because there's no way humanly possible I would have been able to do this by myself. Okay, here's some more footage. People were waiting at 34th Street and 9th Avenue, so this is how far it went. See, it's 9th Avenue, and then it snakes all the way back around. So there's a long line down the block, and then there are a couple of breaks in the line where you can only move forward if one of the Hermès attendants kind of scooch you forward. But this is basically snaking closer towards 33rd Street, which is where the sale was taking place. And then there's a break here. You see there's no line because there's a parking garage. And then there's another line that starts again. And you think, oh, getting closer, getting closer. But then you're in for a surprise. You'll see what I mean. All these people have been waiting for hours. So right there, that's one of the Hermès attendants. He's working this crowd, and he will let you know if you're at the front of this line, whether you can scoot forward. Okay, so you keep going. And the reason why there's another break here is because there is a parking lot. And lo and behold, you have to go into the parking lot, and this snakes all the way around like airport line. And these are all the people waiting. So here is a shot of the parking lot up close, which means that I made it in. So I would say I made it into the parking lot, and then just in the parking lot alone, I waited about 3 hours. So if you're kind of putting two and two together, that means I was online for much more than 3 hours. I'm going to give you the total amount of time I've been online towards the end of the video because I think you're going to be shocked, but keep guessing. So here we are, and by the way, something crazy happened. At some point in the middle of the day, the employees came out. See that guy that you recognize from the previous footage? He came out, started counting all the heads, and then he stopped in the middle of this line and said, unfortunately, from this point forward, you'll all have to go home. You'll all have to get off the line and come back another day, unfortunately. Can you imagine after waiting hours and hours and giving up your day? Because the sale was from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they were growing concerned that the rest of the crowd would not be able to make it in time and be able to clear out by 6 p.m. So they cut off the line. This is, I mean, the people that had to go home, they must have been waiting for at least 6 or 7 hours, 5, 6, 7 hours, which means I waited longer. Yes. Okay. So I was glad that I wasn't told to go home, but I was also really tired at this point, and my friends were totally the ones propping me up. We couldn't have made it without each other. My husband came by, brought us some chocolates. I mean, the little things that kept us going. How ridiculous. I'm also going to talk about whether or not this sale was worth it or not. And as you can see, I'm not unboxing anything, so I think that's a pretty big hint. Here, this is what I mean. We made lots of friends online. When you get into the parking lot and you get closer to the entrance, before you leave the parking lot, they start to give out colored wristbands. And when they call your color, it's only about a dozen people at a time, then you can go in. Okay, once you make it out of the parking lot, there is another short line that looks pretty much like this. It's quite short and it moves very quickly, and there is the entrance. Once you enter, you have to go to the back and check all of your coats, any bags, and even if it's a tiny little bag, you have to check it. They give you a little tag, and then you go up the stairs and you make your way into the sale, finally. So by this point, I'm just gonna tell you, by this point I had been waiting 8 hours, a full 8 hours. It was almost exactly 8 hours. Crazy. I don't know how I did it. I don't. So once you get up the stairs, the first thing you see is this double door opening, and then you head in, and this is what it looked like. This is the setup. And you can see as soon as you go in, right in front of you, you've got a whole bunch of bins filled with scarves, very well organized, all neatly folded. Anytime you unfold a scarf, one of the attendants comes over and then folds it neatly. And yeah, you got these plastic bags to carry around to put everything in. And then behind you can see there were hats, lots of hats. And what you don't see is just some other accessories like more scarves hanging in the background, bathing suits. There were no belts. I was looking for a belt for my husband. There were no belts of any kind. There were a lot of ties, men's ties, which I wasn't interested in. Here's what it looked like from the back of the room, looking forward. So this line is for the jewelry. So you had to stand on a separate line for the jewelry that moved fairly quickly. There were maybe like 3 or 4 people in front of me, and you have a 10-minute time limit to choose the jewelry. So all in these glass cases, you have the enamels and you have the leather. I was looking for potentially a CDC bracelet, not like this one, but the full size CDC that's double the width, because I don't have. But unfortunately, they only had a purple color and a red color CDC. Everything else was just not available. And of course, I also looked at the Click H bracelets, but they didn't have any. They did have the thicker Click Clack H, which is the wider one, but none that really caught my eye. Lots of enamel with a lot of elaborate designs, not my style. A lot of leather bracelets as well, the wraparounds. I'll show you photos of the ones that my friends got. Here's another photo. See, there's the ready-to-wear, both men's and women's. Here there was a small section for pillows and blankets and baby stuff, and here there's some bath towels. None of those really caught my interest at all. It looked like kind of, I don't know, just not my cup of tea and not much selection. Here there's a security guard. This is how the shoes were displayed in the back. These are the men's shoes all in the boxes lined up. The women's shoes were towards the front on the left side. So here are the women's shoes. These big boxes were all boots, but they didn't really have many selection and not many sizes. And then all of the shoes were lined up against the wall like this in the boxes by size. And I went straight to my size, and there wasn't anything that, again, caught my interest. I looked at sandals, boots, sneakers, mules, loafers, everything I could think of, but I couldn't find anything in the shoes section. And this is what it looks like at the checkout. So you have 50 minutes, as I said, 50 minutes, and then they call the color of your wristband, and they ask you to basically make your way to the checkout and clear out so that other people can come in. It wasn't crowded at all. It was very, very spacious. There weren't many people shopping at the same time. And I think the reason why the lines moved so slowly is because they were following COVID protocols, and they probably had a certain number of people that they could have come in at the same time. In previous years, I understand from talking to people that they waited like 2, 3, or maybe 4 hours maximum, but this year was the longest ever. And again, I think it's because of the protocol they were following, but this is what the checkout looked like. Not many people online, I'll be honest. A lot of people going in, and I didn't see a lot of people checking out. So I don't know if they were just like me and couldn't find anything. One of my friends did get lucky and found a lot of items that she really liked. Plus, she found gift items to send to family and friends. So this is one of the silk scarves she picked up. This is a cashmere scarf. I think it's a cashmere silk blend. It's one of the thinner ones, like the two that I have. Really pretty print. This one is quite bold blue. Got a lot of designs here. These wild animals. Here's another one. Lots of scarves, right? Here are some sneakers that she picked up, and then some others in the back. I'll show you a better picture in a minute. These are the bracelets that she picked up. This is what I meant about the leather wrap bracelets. This one is a gold color, this one is like a bluish, and this is a reddish. So if you're into these, they had a lot of these kinds of bracelets. She picked up this scarf as well, very bright pop of color. This as well, camouflage style. And then she also picked up all 3 of these sandals. They did have limits on how many pieces you could buy in each category. So I think she asked her friend to buy her some under her name at the end, but it all worked out. So here's some of these very glittery Oran sandals and then some other sandals. So also another pair of sneakers. So she really bought a lot. For her, it was definitely worth it. This was her 3rd Hermès sale that she had attended. She was in complete shock that I didn't buy anything. And that is right, guys. I did not buy anything. Nothing. I tried, but you know me. I also don't like to just buy anything and then clutter up my mind, my closet, my space. And I thought to myself, on one hand, I waited so long, to make it worth it, I should buy something. At least one thing. Everyone kept saying, just buy one little thing. But then on the other hand, I told myself, I already wasted so much time. Why would I need to waste my money now on top of it? It's like double whammy, right? So I did walk out of there empty-handed. Out of everyone that was near us online, I was the only one, I believe, that walked out empty-handed, but I was very happy to, because I was proud of myself for not caving and just buying whatever that I don't need or want. The things that I was looking for, as I mentioned, was a belt for my husband, and they didn't have any belts. I was really hoping they would have some tableware because I wanted to pick up some mugs and bowls and plates, but before we even got inside, I asked some of the people coming out, and they said there was 0 tableware. Sometimes at these sales, they do have, and other times they don't. So it was just one of those times where they didn't have any in that category. So that was fine. Then I was looking for twillies for my Birkin and also twillies for my friend who had asked me as a favor to look for her. But the bin with the twilly was like nearly empty, and the twillies that were remaining were not that nice, at least in my eyes. Like I said, I wouldn't have minded picking up the full-size CDC bracelet. I was kind of looking for a neutral color, but they only had the purple and the red, which really not my cup of tea. I would have also gone for an exotic, like a snake, lizard, or croc, but they didn't have anything cool. And then I also did look at the ready-to-wear, and I found a nice top. It was a short sleeve, kind of like a t-shirt, but the front was silk. I thought it was really nice. They had one in my size, and I thought, maybe I'll get this. 60% off, but the retail price was $1,950, which means that even on sale, it would be well over $1,000 plus tax would make it like $1,200 or $1,300 for a t-shirt. That wasn't even amazing. Like I could have done without it. So I left it there and happy that I did. So yeah, I think this is kind of an unusual video because a lot of people who went to the Hermès sale are doing unboxings and showing all the goodies that they got. But my video is about my experience, how I came out with nothing, how I'm happy that I didn't cave and buy just anything. And I want to answer the question, was it worth going? And my answer is no. No, 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 not at all. Because if you think about how much you're saving on sale compared to how much time you're spending, and time is money, right? For me, I calculated my hourly rate. Totally not worth it. Will I ever go back? No, never. Mark my words. I would never go back. Never, never, never. Yeah, never. It was fun in that it was a first-time experience. I got through it because of my friends. I enjoyed making new friends online. And yeah, it was an experience, so I don't regret it. But would I do it again? Absolutely not. So not worth it. I think some people scored exactly what they wanted and they're happy, so I'm happy for them. But I do think other people might have just picked up anything that was in their line of sight that might have been in their size or within their budget, because you start to rationalize like, hey, I've been here so long, I've been waiting online for so long, I can't come out empty-handed. And I did not want to fall into that trap. So if you also went to the Hermès sale and you came out with nothing, then kudos to you, because that takes willpower, and know that you're not alone. You're not the only person that did that. I'm perfectly happy with my decision. So there you have it. That's the full story of the Hermès sale. And I don't know when the next one will be, but I am not interested. And yeah, that's it. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below for me. I'll try my best to get to them. I hope that even though there wasn't any eye candy, the little bit of footage that I shared and the story that I shared is interesting and helpful to some of you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.